Hey planner friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning from the 25th to the 31st of August in my Arch and Olive notebook, and this week I'm using the kit Golden Hour from Plannerface. So I really figured that this kit fit like the end of summer vibe moving into autumn, and I just really like the colours of it. I've only got a mini kit and I'm going to try and colour block this week, so I might have to go into my stash for some extra bits and pieces. But as always, I have all of my stickers pulled out in my Plannerface reusable sticker album and my planning notes in front of me. So let's get going with the base of this spread. So my sidebar colour for this week is blue. And I probably should have actually started at the bottom because I have a toolbox and I haven't been doing great at the spacing. I think I'm going to use the fountain at the bottom. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that the fountain wasn't in the background of the toolbox I'm about to use. And then we have the habit tracker. And then my toolbox. So this week was the August bank holiday weekend, so I had the Monday off. My friend came to visit and we just had like quite a chill bank holiday, like hanging out. And then I was working 4 days this week, and the things that have been bothering me about work for a while, and like all of the stress that's been going on, really kind of was almost overwhelming by the end of this week. And you'll see it in my next plan with me that on the week that I'm currently in, I am off work sick because I'm just so stressed out. But I'm feeling better, so giving myself a little bit of a break has definitely worked. Okay, so there we have my August monthly script, which is from Plannerface. Cool, and then we will go into my date covers. So I've forgotten to pre-date these, but I will date them off camera between the base and going through the day by day. I love the vine pattern in these date covers. I kind of wish that the bottom washi was also the vine pattern because it's just super cute. Yeah, so work was still kind of stressful, and I had quite a busy weekend. I went out with some of my friends from weightlifting and we went to Rocket Paddle in Bristol, which is really fun, but people who do sports that require a lot of power it does not translate well to racket sports. So we were like hoofing the tennis balls like across multiple courts without meaning to, probably pissing off everyone else that was there. And then let me just get my colours right. Yeah, and then on Sunday we spent most of the day planning a little bit of home renovation that we're doing. We were originally going to do a little bit more like home renovation this year, but but other stuff came up, so instead of doing like one of the bigger projects that we had in mind, we're doing a slightly less big project over the next couple weeks. So yeah, just getting stuff for that, deciding what we want, ordering samples and stuff. I'm excited. I will say more about it when it's actually happening, because hopefully I should have a lot more bits and pieces to share about it when it's actually happening, rather than now when it's still kind of in the idea stage. yeah, I'm excited to do more house stuff. Obviously this year I've done a lot more like going out and doing stuff than I have done in previous years. So we haven't had as much time for house stuff, but yeah, I'm really excited about this project. It was my partner's idea and I was kind of against it to begin with, but then I realised that we could just change a little bit of it and I would actually really love it. So okay, so I'm going to put my double box down here. It's a gorgeous view. It's definitely giving like chateau or villa. And then on Monday I think I'm going to use this box. So with this layout I haven't got to use quite as many boxes as I would like, but I've got a lot of plans to fit in on some of the days. On some of them I have barely anything, but okay, and then there's the weekend banner. Okay, so that is the base of the spread. Now we can get into my plans for the week. Okay, so starting on Monday, it was the August bank holiday this day. So I have cut up a 3-hot checklist already. And then the first thing that I did this day was some laundry. So I had just piles of laundry on our spare bed, which I had to get rid of so that Becca could stay there. And whilst I was also doing, no, one more thing in between that. I then did my training this day. So I was originally going to go into like team training, but realised I was going to be too busy. As part of my like getting ready for my friend arriving, I was just doing a couple household bits and pieces that I had missed the week before. So I put on our Halloween bedding. Yes, I'm going to have to wash it before Halloween, but I put it on. And then I'm going to use another cut up little thing for Becca arriving. I'm going to probably have to space these out a bit. We then had a big long catch up. Actually, I'll use the square box. We had a big long catch up just hanging out on the sofa. Although we like game almost daily, we don't really hang out in person a lot, so that was really nice to like see her in person. And then we went to a local pub that we haven't actually been to before for some food, and it was really good. And then at the end of the day, we just had a couple of drinks at home. So nothing major. Becca come up to do some bits and pieces in like my city, like my home city on the Tuesday. So on the Tuesday morning she kind of got up and went, but then was like staying with us. That's really badly done. But then was staying with us on the Tuesday night and then heading home on Wednesday morning when I was already off to work. So yeah, I really only saw her on Monday and then like a little bit on Tuesday morning. Okay, so for it being the bank holiday, I have a piece of deco from the kit, and I have a bank holiday script from my personalised like UK holidays sheet, which is all custom scripts from Plannerface. And then I have the laundry doodle, I think based on the colour not matching very well. This is a laundry doodle from a different kit. I then have Dumbbells version 2 from Plannerface. and a custom snatch script. For our new bedding, I have this cute vanilla making the bed. And then I was going to put in that I had a YouTube binge and I've completely forgot to mark that in. Oh well. For Becca arriving, I have another bit of deco. And then for us just hanging out on the sofa, I have these vanillas hanging out on the sofa. For going out for dinner, I have a fork and knife doodle, which again I think is from a different kit. And then I have some deco from the kit of some wine glasses for hanging out and having some drinks in the evening. Okay, so that's Tuesday, that's super cute. On Tuesday, I was working from home. So I'm going to use a quarter box to mark that in. Let's maybe put it a bit more centrally in the column though. And then after work, I did my training for the day. So we'll mark that in. Oh. This day, I not only managed to clean more than 75 kilos, but I cleaned 80, which was super exciting because that's like the next kind of milestone number. So I'm marking that in with a little thing. I then had some sofa cuddles with Reggie and played some Sims. So I'm not going to get that in there. And then I did just want to mark that Becca was staying over. Although I haven't actually pulled out a sticker for that. Okay, we'll just mark it in like this. So for work, I just have this kind of Teams deal from Papershire. For training, I have dumbbells version 2 again, but not ones that really match. And a custom clean script from Plannerface. I then have one of my strong feeling squidges for my PB. And then for cuddles with Reggie and playing some Sims, I have a dog bed doodle from Plannerface and a little squidge from Stick with the Blanco. One of the things that we want to do with this like home improvements thing that I'm going to talk about more on Sunday is that we will be moving our computers downstairs to where like our sofa is, so that Reggie can kind of feel a bit more included rather than always being on the floor when we're like at computers. He's like a big part of our family. On Wednesday I was working from home, so I'm marking that in with a third box. And then on this day, while I was at work, Becca went home. So it kind of sucked that like, because she was out on Tuesday doing stuff with some other friends, but staying at ours, I didn't actually get to see her because I was asleep by the time she got back because I had to go on site on Wednesday. While I was, when I got home from work, I had an idea about a new planner possibly for next year. So I kind of did some thinking about that. No spoilers, but I have already bought one. I have already bought something. I'm thinking of doing like a Plansmas. I don't know. It's because I would probably want to start planning it around now and like start pre-filming stuff so that it's not all horrendously busy in December. But unsure, don't hold me to it. So work was awful again this week, so I have a vanilla saying "I'm a fucking god." For Becca leaving, I wanted to use some doodles from the kit because I like to use doodles that match the colours of the days, and I was really struggling with actually using ones that came in the kit, so I just used some shoes to mark her heading home. I then have a vanilla with a new planner to mark in messing around with a layout. And then I have a vanilla gaming to mark in that me and Becca, because I hadn't really seen her on Tuesday, we just ended up gaming all evening on the Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday. Thursday I was working from home, so I will use a quarter box to mark that in. And then I went to team training this day. I do need to mark in something else first. technically before work, but we'll mark it in afterwards. I managed to edit I think this was my September monthly that was going to go live on Sunday. So I got that done, and then I went to team training. And this team training was really good as well. I did some PB doubles and a 62 kilo snatch, which is also a PB. So all the technical work that I've been doing for ages, that's been like stressing me out, has really like started to pay off, which is very exciting. And then at the end of the day, I just had a bit of a YouTube binge, and I will make all of this fit. Yeah, so all of the technical work that I've been doing for the past couple weeks with training is like finally all paying off, and I'm like transferring it to the full lifts, which is kind of exactly what you want to happen after you've just done loads of technical work. Okay, so I've had to move every single one of these stickers. I feel like at some point it's gone a bit wonky. Okay, just about fit. So on Thursday I was working from home, so I have a vanilla for that, and then I did my editing, so I'm just using an envelope doodle from the kit for editing. For team training, I have a vanilla and a custom team training script, and then another squidge marking in that I felt super strong, and then some deco just for a YouTube binge in the evening. Okay, Thursday's looking a little bit busy, but I feel like that's because Tuesday and Wednesday are actually fairly empty, and I had 5 things to fit on here. And I wanted to make sure team training was going to be big, because I actually did like my full Saturday session but on a Thursday, so it's quite a big training day. Okay, on Friday, first thing on Friday is that I was working on site again, and this was another just awful day. We were all kind of losing the plot by the end of this day. After work, I went and picked up my prescription. And then I did, this is a sticker from my stash, but then I did an interval run. Okay, don't hate that for a colour match. I was then playing some Baldur's Gate with Becca in the evening and having some drinks at home. But I feel like if I use this for some Baldur's Gate, and then so I've got 2 big stickers left. Cool, and then some drinks at home. Okay, so this one in the centre isn't a fantastic colour match, but I think I'll get away with it. Cool, so for work this day I just have vanilla frying her head, and then for picking up my prescription I have the grocery doodle from the kit. For my interval run I have some not particularly well matched trainers. For gaming I have vanilla. And then for some drinks at home, I have some different wine doodles, not doodles, deco from the kit. So this is looking super cute already. I always forget how much I love colour blocking until I do it, and then I'm like, oh my god, yes, this is exactly what I should have been doing. First thing on Tuesday, I had physio. So we will mark that in. Thankfully, my wrist is getting better, so my physio is no longer trying to send me off to orthopedics. After physio, I did my memory planning. Maybe I'll put that in a little bit bigger. Yeah, after physio, I did my memory planning. And then my editing. So then the main thing that I was doing this day was we had a team social, and there was like a daytime bit that was like an activity, and then an evening bit that was like drinking. And I wasn't really feeling up for going out drinking, but the activity was paddle, and it's this place called Rocket Paddle in Bristol. It's kind of like a cross between squash and tennis. I was absolutely terrible at it, but so was everyone else, so it doesn't matter. And it was just really fun. After that I had to train because I had to do my last session, but I swapped my Thursday and Saturday sessions, so I had a lighter session to be doing after going out and doing an activity. And I did another PB double, 2 more PB doubles I think in this session, which was power snatch and split jerk. On the day that I'm filming this, yesterday I went to team training and beat the PB double split jerk that I did on this day, but also completely forgot how to power snatch, so you win some, you lose some. Let's just get this in straight. Yeah, paddle was really fun. It's not my sort of thing, but I enjoyed myself. So for physio, I have physio vanillas from Papershire. For doing my memory planning, I have the planner doodle from the kit, and then for editing I have the laptop doodle. I really didn't know how to mark in paddle, so I have this like really old like sports bag sticker. I don't know where it's from. And then for training I have some more dumbbells that don't really match, and then a jerk script from Plannerface. It's another one of my customs. For my PB doubles I have Excited Vanilla, and then for gaming in the evening I just have a control doodle from Papershire. I think I'm going to try and collage this one a little bit more. So maybe like that. Yeah, then it looks more of like a thing rather than like just this weird little doodle. Okay, moving on to Sunday. On Sunday I started off the day with my usual Sunday reset, so I'm marking that in with a square box. I then did my my August reflection. So I did my reflection, and I did all my highlights page and everything. I think I've posted it on Instagram, or I might be posting it. I will have posted it by the time this video goes up, yeah. I then played at some Sims, but instead of playing like my Decades challenge like I've been doing recently, I'm sure none of you will be surprised to know that I have made my own house in The Sims, and I use it to work out like interior design choices. So we are gonna redo our lounge so that it's more of like a cozy gamer space, because at the moment we just spend a lot of our time in our office, where we've just got like our desk chairs, and there's no like, if you wanted to sit and play like a console game you'd have to go downstairs and sit on your own. So we're gonna try and combine it so we're actually like using the downstairs of our house a bit more, and that means that in our current office we can move my partner's like 3D printer, and I can have some of my like less used craft stuff like out of the way, and he can have like more space to do music. So yeah, I'm really excited for how it's going to look. It does involve changing a floor, but I'm sure we can manage that. So for the Sunday reset I have the vacuum doodle from the kit. For doing my reflection I have this notebook doodle from the kit as well. For playing some Sims I have Squidge, and then for planning our lounge stuff I have this pen pot doodle, and then I have a bit of deco for just having a lazy evening. I'm going to put the 3 things that we like planned here. I'd originally pulled this out, but I'm not sure I want to use that unless I switch everything over to the other sides, which will mostly depend on whether I can get a squidge up, which I can. Okay, right, squidge goes there. Okay, so that is all of my stickers down for the week. I'm really glad that I decided to colour block with this spread because it looks super cute, and I also didn't have to dig into my stash too much because I didn't have like huge amounts going on this week. So I'm going to go fill all this in and I'll be right back. So here is the spread all filled out, and I'm super happy with how this has turned out. I really love the colour blocking, and I was something annoying about using this kit, and I'm really glad that I did because it kind of fits the vibe of like an end of summer week, I think. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a little lemon emoji in the comments. But that is everything for this video. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!